Hello, everybody, and welcome into this new moon in Leo 2024. This is going to be one of those new moons, and we've already been experiencing this energy as we speak. Typically, I go live right before the moon starts changing and everything starts to get to that part. But recently, and just in this last bit, I personally just had to take a couple of seconds out, a little bit of time to myself. The main part to this new moon in Leo, if you get nothing else from this live stream, is that this is meant to be an activation of the heart. Not just your heart, but the heart of the collective. Not just a little bit of passion, but like really starting to imbue what it is that you truly care about, starting to really get into the space of what it is that you feel in a way where you think you can actually express that. So one of the main portions to this is that a lot of the times we go through our lives, and I'm no exception to this. I know it's one of those things where obviously I do content, obviously I do different work, right? But I do photography, and I haven't posted my photography. Well, why not? Isn't that part of what makes your art, right? When we get to the Leo rendition of what this is meant to be, Leo is really tied to the heart. It's tied to creativity. As a matter of fact, without the Leo vibration, romance in and of itself wouldn't exist. And I know that sounds like a far stretch, but it's really true, because Leo is really trying to have people imagine the world that they live in as if they were the royalty that lived within it. And this is Leo's gift that it brings on to us. One of the best qualities when it comes to Leo is that, like, no matter what you're going through, they're so good at being able to like have you really say things that's on your heart, or bringing out passion from you, or making sure that you really do stick to your goals creatively and internalize and utilize the skills that you possess, right? That's one of the main portions that Leo is great at doing. Now, here's where things get a little bit confused, I think, when it comes to Leo. Because they're supporting you doesn't mean that they can't bring that same energy to themselves. So sometimes we get so caught up in like, oh my God, like, you know, we're getting all this attention, we're getting all this love. But Leo sometimes has a situation happen to where it's like, by the time people turn around, they're like, oh, aren't they so full of themselves? It's like they were just gassing you up a second ago. They were just trying to hype you up. They're trying to bring more camaraderie, love, peace into the space. And here you are like, oh, maybe they think that they're better than us. Oh, maybe they think whatever, right? So I'm just saying this on some like high road and low road in terms of just how the Leo energy gets perceived. But when we think about summer, when we think about, hey, everybody's going out to be on the beach, when we think about, hey, like someone's having their summer fling with their person from another country, or someone's really starting to tap into that space, one of the main portions and segments when it comes to that as a concept is that heart space, again, of Leo, which is trying to encourage us all to pop up, to have fun, to enjoy ourselves, to be the person that we're meant to be by stepping into the life that we have, pushing forward everything that we got. That's something that I prioritize in my work as well. I am a triple fire sign. I'm not a Leo, despite the hair. I appreciate the love. But in terms of that, the concept of this new moon specifically, and I think why I even sat out, I was supposed to do this live stream yesterday, to be honest. That was my initial set time. But I had to take the time to sit down and really see where my heart was at. I've just been it's been a very hectic last month for myself in real life. And I know it's been hectic and even more chaotic in some other people's, and people don't always know transits either. So like, I know that there's so many more layers to what people have been experiencing, but because we've been in this Cancer season phase, as well as this Leo season that we're just getting into now, we're going from, hey, these are the depths of our emotions, and Leo season is, how are you showing up with those emotions? Now, this is the most critical part to this new moon in Leo, and I have the astrology up as well, and I'll be taking this there in just a second. The most critical part to this new moon in Leo, if I really had to like take everything back, strip back the layers, are you brave enough to really live out your soul's purpose? Like, are you brave enough to heed that call? And you're going to know that answer by the end of this month. By the end of this month, you're going to really see like, oh, shoot, like this is a place where I have to grow. Oh, shoot, this is where everything else is going on, right? To give you a little more context, Mercury Retrograde is happening tonight. So if you're watching this after this live stream, it is Mercury Retrograde from now for the next 3 weeks. So from now until August 28th, we are experiencing Mercury Retrograde in Virgo. This is the last little stint of it before we actually enter into it fully. Why is this critical? And why are we having a new moon in Leo just 5 seconds before we get into this retrograde, right? This new moon, I would ask for you, if anything, or whoever's listening to this, this is about the matter of your heart's wisdom. Can you get out of your ego's way long enough for your heart's wisdom to seep through? If you can, there's going to be so much growth and imagination and creativity and passion and focus towards all of those things that are going to be happening throughout this Mercury retrograde in Virgo, right? If you have been doubting yourself, down talking yourself, thinking you can't do it, getting into fights with people, just like crashing out without addressing what's going on with you or in your world, if you cannot be honest with your heart in the course of this Mercury retrograde, with this Leo season going on, you're bound to fail. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm not saying this to be like, oh, you're going to fail. Like, that's not the point of what I'm saying. What I am saying is with this Leo season aspect and the energy that's coming through is that you need to get into that heart space. Let's talk a little bit more about the heart space, and let's try to do this quick little almost exercise. Just follow me for a second, right? Do you remember your first crush? Like, I know I am I remember things like that, right? So when you think about your first crush, or that first person that you liked, or the first celebrity that you liked, right? When I think about that back for me, I remember super, super vividly. I had a poster of, I believe it was Vanessa Williams. Is it Vanessa Williams? Yes. Back in the day. And it was just a cover of a magazine. And I had it up there because I was like, I just think she's so pretty. I was probably like, I was a little kid. Like, I knew. I was very in tune. And I think a lot of people do know in terms of that, unless they're like growing into that, or people really do gauge what they're attracted to early on. It's really what I'm saying. But in terms of that, I was like, ooh, I remember this, right? I don't remember the full detail of it, but I know I had like my first kiss when I was probably like 4, maybe, right? And it wasn't like just some like regular stuff. I was, your boy was kind of saucing through, right? But the reason why I'm bringing up these anecdotes, and I hope that you're catching on to why these anecdotes are coming up, because that like bubbly feeling, that warm and fuzzy feeling that you only have maybe gotten with a very few people, a few select people, right? Even for people who are and have been more promiscuous in their life, they could have been with whoever. But when you stop down to it and you ask them, hey, who are your most important relationships? They usually don't have more than 3 or 5 that were like super critical and meant something to their heart. So why is this new moon in Leo coming up? Why is this happening with Mercury retrograde? Well, again, in order to find your shine, you have to go back in time. In order to like really figure out those intricacies that make you special, you need to take the time out to do so. And I practice what I preach. Like, I'm not doing readings for the next month. like I practice, and that's my main source of income. I chose to be like, yo, I'm not going to do readings for a bit because I need to take the time to utilize and make the most of everyone's time frame as they pop up. That's something that I care about. I can't speak to every astrologer, but I want to make sure that the quality is always up to par. I want to make sure what I deliver is always up to par. That's part of who I am as a person. But even in this Mercury retrograde in Virgo, I'm taking time out on the main thing that I do, right? Just to be able to tap in. Like, what part of it do I really love? What am I better at when it comes to different astrologers? What is my particular talent that I'm able to do over outside of that? What in between analysis have I been missing on because I've been so caught up in trying to perform the thing or speak to the people or find the people to come through? I only am saying these things to reflect this back to your life. What is it in your life that it keeps guiding you to what makes you uncomfortable? And I think that, like, in general, the things that we're most passionate about make us uncomfortable. They make us scared. They are scary things to deal with. What do people think? What do we think? Can we even do it? This is where the new moon of Leo's coming in. So I'm going to open up the astrology over here on this, and welcome to everybody who's here in the live chat. Much love to y'all. I did say I'm not doing readings over the course of the month of August like that. I think I only have my premium one ready, and it's only during the weekend. So in case somebody does want to get the full thing, pull on through. If you want to get like some other pieces of stuff, I ended up doing my astrology 101, which I believe was a absolute success. And if you want to end up getting that for yourself, make sure that you do sign. Actually, it's not even a sign up anymore. You can just order the recording. So if you want the recording, the ebook, as well as the presentation that came with it, and I ended up quoting some other really important astrological resources that I came across in my time of becoming a full-time astrologer in terms of this. So if you do want to check that out, that is also up and available. And I do know that sometimes there's some people who don't particularly know where to start. And that's where I want to just make sure to give y'all that guidance in the process. So I appreciate y'all for always popping up for the new moon and full moons. And for those who have gotten a reading and everything, just, it's all love. And thank y'all for showing up every time. And even if you watch this afterward, like, I do realize I do it on the weekends. People are doing stuff. So thank y'all for showing up every time. And, like, it's much love, yo. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into the astrology. Let's not get a little too caught up in that. Y'all know I'm a little sentimental, low key. So I don't want to get like too caught up with that right now. But let's hope and hop over to here. I hope you can still hear me. I think y'all can. Perfect. So, and y'all can still see me. Look at that. We're doing stuff, right? So here's what I'm going to be pointing out about this full moon specifically. Word. So as we go over to here, I'm just opening it up on my side. As we can see, we had the sun and moon at 12 degrees in terms of this Leo portion. So I have to put it like this. When you talk about a 12-degree portion, and I'm getting a little advanced, don't worry, but I'm going to explain why this is important. In terms of the 12-degree mark, this brings a spiritual Piscean nature that also goes and encompasses this new moon in Leo. Again, this is a little more complicated, and if y'all get it, y'all get it. But the change here is that it's not just an ego thing. Like, this new moon has nothing to do with your ego. This full moon has everything to do with your soul's need to express. Right? How do you come out of the darkness of your own way to bring your light to the table? That's what this entire new moon is about, right? There's little changes and little finesses that you are going to be learning throughout this retrograde, throughout this next 2-week cycle as we head into that full moon, which I'll be covering as well, as y'all know. But as we get into that next full moon, we are going to really start to see just how valuable, just how much our stock is worth as people, and just how much people are willing to work with you when you are truly in the resonance of your friggin' heart. Straight up. So let's hop into astrology one more time just to get a little deeper. I do want to start bringing this more to the table. I am a very analytical person, but I've just been trying to, take on the things from like my mentor and other astrologers I've worked with in terms of like making sure to keep things simple. But I want to kind of I want to tap into that actually. So let's hop in and break this down, right? So when we think about this chart as we see it right here, let's actually remove everything else that doesn't exactly have to do with this moon. So this is why I love this stuff, right? So when we get to this, what is the only aspects that is being made right now? Well, actually the one major aspect that we're seeing is between the sun and moon, Jupiter and Mars, right? So Jupiter and Mars are both in Gemini, and they're making a sextile, which is a positive conversation and communication over to the sun and moon, which is illuminating what? A new beginning in terms of what? Our creativity, the depths of our art, how we want to express ourselves in the world. How hot do you feel? Are you showing up feeling hot? Do you feel a little weird? Like, these are all those different like scenarios that end up coming through. So the main portion to this, and the main thing to start to break down from this, right, is that with Mars and Jupiter in the sign of communication, we have the planet of action and the planet of luck. So here's the main thing, and I'm going to say this right now just so y'all understand what I'm saying. Closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed. When it comes to you chasing your success, you have to speak up about it. When it comes to you becoming all that you are, you have to be real about it to the people that you run into, right? If you're embarrassed about what it is that you do, what can you do for you to be more confident about what it is that you do? If you do something for, let's say, work that's not involved with your heart and what you care about, announce what you care about first. This is your occupation. When it comes to the new moon in Leo, your heart is going to become your upcoming occupation. If you can't follow your heart, you're not going to be successful. I hate to break it to you, but this is what the shift of all of this is going to be leading us into, right? The squeaky wheel don't get no grease, facts evolving. But I'm saying, like, that's really how that goes, right? I just said that earlier, closed mouths don't get fed. And I'm so glad that multiple people are also feeling that energy, but that's really what's coming through. And that's why this Mercury retrograde is that little spice of life on this new moon as we step into it further. So why I want to point out the fear of expression in this Mercury retrograde is because I'm going to be honest with y'all. Throughout this retrograde, you're going to run into some type of mishap or some type of miscommunication or some type of like something. And the reason why I'm saying this isn't to scare you. It is to just be like, yo, you might be called into question in terms of you having to fully speak up from your heart what things are at or where things are at. This is like someone being like, hey, bro, I'm about to put out my new album. I've been working on this album for the last few weeks, bro. We're about to drop this album right now, but I care about your opinion with music, bro. Can you please tell me if this is fire, if this is dope? And you listen to it, and it sounds like some hot garbage that goes, and you're like, I can't sit here with full confidence and say this is a dope song. So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have that hard conversation. And I think the more that we lean away from those hard conversations, the harder the conversations get. And so this is where astrology, kind of like that common sense vibe, that morality piece, this is where all that starts to like also flow through, right? But I'm not a doom and gloom astrologer. I am an astrologer that studies the stars and says, hey, this is what the stars is doing. Here's a star you are. What you finna do about it? So this concept. And I think there's an ad coming up, just to let y'all know. So if there's, I think I literally see an ad loading. It's over there in the yonder. Anyway, but just want to let you know. Anyway, back to what I'm saying, not to get distracted. But this is why you really do need to delve into the truth of your heart. And I don't want to harp on this more. I'm going to talk about this part one last time to start to show you. So actually, I clicked the wrong thing. Of course I did. Okay, back to this one more time, just to kind of give you context. Getting to that Mars phase, getting to that Jupiter phase. So things are growing. But here's a problem, so to speak. If you don't let yourself shine, how is that thing going to grow? If you don't let yourself become that magnetic force, how are people going to look at you and see what you're doing? This whole Leo season is about like, sometimes you got to pop up and show them, right? Sometimes you do have to get a little nice. Before I got on this live stream, I was feeling stupid dusty. I was like, oh, I don't like this. Stand up there. You want to know what I did? I said, let's put this hair down. Let's fix this little thing over here. Let's put this here. Let's throw in some earrings. Let's put this accessorize. Let's put a little something on. Oh, I like this shirt. Boom. And now we're in a different space. I'm using a desk today. There's different things going on. Just include things that are going to get you to have more fun. Because at the end of the day, life is hard. I was going to cuss, but I'm a YouTube partner. But apologies. Life is hard, dog. And we can sit here every day and ignore the tools that we have at our disposal. We can ignore the spirituality that we're feeling. We can ignore our emotions all we want to. But it's the minute that we have the courage to pull up as ourselves when we do speak in that sometimes braggadocious tone. Oh no, who's going to be offended? But people who are hating, who cares? So this is where it's like, this is the other side to that, right? Because F a hater. Are they paying your bills? No. Are they helping you out any type of way? No. Are they making sure that are they asking if you're okay? Did you eat today? No. Well, then why are we concerned about them? You get what I'm saying? So this is one of those situations that's to kind of give you that context where that happens. All right, let me know if I'm back, y'all. I don't know where I stopped at. I was going off because, of course, you know, this is just what happens. Let me let me know where it stopped at, and I could easily pick it back up. Worst case, we get to the cards, but I did start going off. Basically, what I was saying, to kind of give a little context, hopefully the live is going again, but to say what I was saying, also just last tip, right? If you don't feel it in your heart, it's because it ain't nothing to feel. You get what I'm saying? If you've been rocking with the same person and the whole time they don't know how to rock with you, maybe they don't know how to satisfy, whatever the case is, don't rock with that. Don't sit there and waste your time. Don't put your energy out to stuff that you know isn't going to fulfill you. Straight up. And I know normally I'll be like dancing around that. This is important for this new moon in Leo. If you're not in this like state of love with life, how can you figure that out? Because that's what this whole thing is about. Learn your astrology. Check out the Astrology 101. Get a reading with me. Book it for September because I'm chilling this month. Outside of the long-term readings, if you did get a long-term reading from me, we're still good. Like, no worries. But, okay. So before we start to get interrupted again by something random and devious, let's hop into the cards and the expression of the cards. What's coming up for this season? What do I see pulling through for that? And yeah, we'll just get that going. So how y'all doing out here in the chat? I see a couple of y'all are pulling up to get some mini readings and all that stuff. So I appreciate the love there. So this right here. Also, shout out to Noelle. This is my homegirl, Gemini homegirl. She gave me this lighter on her birthday. And she was like, we traded lighters. And she was like, this is a piece of me and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is like the type of friendly, like, you know, I think friendship at its best feels almost romantic, like in terms of just like the connectivity. But I think sometimes we get so confused into that, like, oh my God, this person's making me feel something that it's like, I must own them now. And I think that's where we start to lose out on love when we keep it a stack. So just want to let y'all know this. I'm doing a little fresh. This is how you, it's how you cleanse things, you know, just showing y'all how to get this popping. This is indeed Palo Santo YouTube, in case y'all start trying to play games. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Anybody who wants a mini reading right now, this is the time to do it. The earlier that y'all do the mini reading queue, the more I save up to make sure I can snap for that. But if y'all don't want a mini reading, that's cool too. Just know I'm not doing full readings except for my actual full reading that I have, which is properly priced at the point that it is. But and I'm still doing the Deborah Silverman reading. Speaking of, if y'all want to sign up for a free astrological immersion, let me send y'all the link right now. Okay, 1 second. Hey man, just sent the email to me. Good to know. I'm gonna check it out later. I got you. Man, okay. So let me send you over the link real quick. So this is a astrological immersion, and then we're gonna get into the cards. But I do have to actually let y'all know about this. So, astrological immersion is a 5-day event with the legendary Deborah Silverman, who is one of my mentors in this astrology game. And I'm just going to put this down for y'all because the sign up is free. That is my referral code. Please just sign up for it anyway. It's going to look good on my end. And genuinely speaking, there's so many dope opportunities and conversations, and she gives away free stuff to people. Some really cool deals. So if you just want to have something to do or have like a community to talk to about some more spiritual stuff and conversations, that's the best way to go. And the last thing to put, part of the reason why I'm not doing readings this month is because of the launch of the Stars Align dating app that I've been working on in the background. I'm one of the app developers now, but that's not important. What I can say though, that's coming soon. There will be more content on that soon. If you are in the LA area and wanted to test out the app and check out the app, please reach out to me individually and I will figure out a way to get that over to you. And we're about to have a lot of fun. Okay. I'm done doing all that other stuff. Let's get into the cards. It's what y'all came here for anyway. Okay. Appreciate y'all. Much love. And we only started 26 minutes ago and we get into the cards. This is a pace that we love to see. All right, cool. And I will be talking more extensively about Mercury Retrograde. I think I want to make a real video for that because if I'm being so transparent, my biggest fear, I'm cool on live streaming. Making a video that like I know I edited fully terrifies me if it's just for me. So I'm going to have to fight through that throughout this retrograde. So no worries. This is the card that we have for this new moon in Leo. And this card has been fun. And you just saw me cleanse this deck a second ago. The Hierophant has been creeping. This card right here, all throughout Leo season thus far, keeps coming up. Why does the, oh, you can't see it that way. Anyway, why does the Hierophant keep coming up? Okay. The Hierophant is in the seat of power to be able to communicate the language of God to regular people. Why is this Hierophant coming up? Remember what I was just saying a bit ago? Where I was like, this whole new moon is about you like really getting out your ego's way and seeing what the larger part of scale has in store for you, seeing what your higher self has in store, seeing what the greater part of your heart has in store. Some of that, and some people do refer to that same form of voice as some type of entity. Maybe it's God, maybe it's the universe, maybe it's just their guides. Whatever it is that you're feeling with, right? Whatever it is that you're feeling through. The Hierophant is trying to show you the feelings, the thoughts, the vibes, everything that's been popping up thus far has been for a reason. And it's not for your ego, it's for your soul. Other part to this, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands. When I tell you that, like, we get so caught up as people that we forget that, like, life is truly a gift. And I want to say it like this because, like, I do my best. I'm not saying I'm perfect at this. I've been trying, it's been something I've been utilizing recently. I've been trying to like live more in a way where I tell people that I care, that I love them. Or like, if I like something that someone's doing, I try to give people their flowers, right? And I know this is good to get a little bit like morbid and stuff, but I be thinking about it sometimes and I'm like, yo, not everybody like still here for real. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I think one of the most painful thing sometimes to watch in general is when people miss out on giving people their flowers, like while they're doing stuff or like while they're here in general. And then after they're gone, they're like, oh my God, you were so talented. But meanwhile, for all you know, that one nice compliment, that one dope thing you said, or that one truth that you gave them could have changed the trajectory of their entire life for all you know. So I really do recommend, and this is something that I try to do. I always try to give credit where it's due. If I see somebody wear something dope, I'm like, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? If like someone came through and their makeup's on fire, I'm like, yo, that's fire makeup. If someone comes through and I like their shoes, like, oh, I like your shoes, or like, oh, I like your vibe, or like, oh, you're good people, or whatever the case is. I really just want everyone to take this new moon in Leo as an excuse to like be a kinder person. Like we live in a really, really harsh reality right now. And Everyone's been going through because there's a reason for that. You get what I'm saying? Like all the cards and stuff aside, there's a reason for that, why we all going through it. And part of the reason why I think it's harder for us to find some remedy, or that it's harder for us to find that, is because of one or two things. One, we don't know ourselves, or two, we don't know how to let ourselves shine the way we're supposed to find the people that are supposed to be around here. You get what I'm saying? If I never made these videos, y'all wouldn't pop up. I wouldn't know who y'all are. You know what I'm saying? like I wouldn't be able to have a real relationship to a handful of people that I have met in real life, or I have talked to about real things outside of astrology, outside of creativity, just real life. So just wanted to kind of give that anecdote as far as this new moon is concerned. And Leo, literally just use this new moon as an excuse to like be kinder to the person next to you, and love's going to be on your way for sure. Here's an ad. Anyway, let's get on to it. This is going to be the card pulls. And because it is Leo season, we are starting off with the fire sign. So let's hop to it. This is going to be the first card for the signs specifically, and this is going to be the card for Leo. I'm going to run through these pretty smooth, like, just to not to harp on them too much. Leo, hold on, Leo, hold on. Cards just hopped out, Leo. This is important. This is mad important. Leo, y'all are going through some heartbreak right now. And I want to put this one thing out here as I explain this to you, Leo. This heartbreak is not your fault. This is literally the first thing I saw. As a side note, actually, the heartbreak that you're going through is because somebody somewhere was trying to be trifling. I think this is truly Leo, and there's a couple cards that came out here. Excuse me. And since it is y'all time, I do want to explain this for y'all. But Leo, it looks as though like y'all, this seems like an ex-partner or like somebody who things didn't work out with, but they were actually on that BS. You might have thought that you were just tripping or losing your mind. No, the heartbreak that you're feeling is because they were actually being a jerk. But here's a turnaround, Leo. Here's a turnaround. You're starting to see who's actually worth investing in. And Leo, I think if I'm being so honest with you, this whole new moon in Leo is trying to show you that romance has nothing to do with relationship as much as it has to do with you finding love in all things. So Leo, I think intrinsically, this has a lot to do with like previous partners, or am I good enough? Like, you know, I know despite the confidence trope that Leo gets, there are real insecurities and concerns that come up over stuff like that. So I wanted to let you know before we started, like, Leo, that heartbreak stuff isn't your fault. That doesn't mean that you were less than. That means y'all weren't compatible. And with this moving forward, how are you showing love to all things? Because Leo, as soon as you become a beacon of love in general, all the people that you try to reach out to, all the people you thought might not have rocked with you, all of that type of stuff starts to turn on its head. And everybody wants you, and everybody's bugging you, and everyone wants to take you on a date. And that's when you get to decide where love truly takes you. That was OD. Like, I did not even realize I was talking. Leo, that was mad specific. I hope that helps with y'all. There's a big change pulling through, Leo. That heartbreak, it's about to be over, but keep that in mind in that process. This is going to be for Aries, right? And for everything I'm pulling, it's going to be sun, moon, and rising, but mostly your rising, just to give y'all that context again. Okay, Aries. Y'all got the Hierophant again. Y'all got the Hierophant when I pulled for the Leo season, bro. All right, Aries. Here's what, and this is funny because I'm an Aries rising, and I'm like, I'm not even about to be doing readings for a second. I gotta go on my hermit stage. But genuinely speaking, right, hermit stage, Aries, pull back for a bit. As a matter of fact, Aries, I think you'd be really surprised in general how much things change when you don't have an influence there. This is something that I've noticed, at least with the Aries like energy, is that everybody doesn't realize how much Aries is clearing space for people to like pull through and speak their truth. Nobody notices that. It's one of the most like down, like underneath the layer type things that happen. But here's what's happening, Aries. You gonna walk away and be on your own and learn and like figure more stuff out and be on that Hierophant phase, and everyone's gonna be like looking for where you're at. But when they had the opportunity to see where you were at, they didn't take it. So don't feel bad for people choosing their own demise. Like, you have to like really be on that, like, yo, I'm trying to do this self-work stuff. I gotta dip out for a little bit. I got to work on a few things. Like, Aries, this is way more of a planning period than it is trying to do everything that pops up, period. Just to give you some context with that as well. I hope everybody's doing okay with Tropical Storm Debbie right now. I don't think that's a proper name, but I hope everyone who, I know I do got some people in Florida, on the East Coast, and etc. I just heard that the tropical storm's going through right now. I stay away from the news as much as humanly possible because I like my sanity. But yeah, for everyone who is dealing with the storm, I hope y'all are getting lit and enjoying this as a party. You know, I hope this is part of your tropical storm party. Anyway, for real, hope y'all are all safe and everything's beautiful and Gucci and the storm blows over, you know? All right, for Sagittarius, this is for my Sagittarians. All right, so for my Saggies, what we got? This card had a lot of oomph on it, sorry, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so what we have at the bottom of the deck right now is the Knight of Cups, word. This is really signifying that you need to flirt more with the life around you. And here's the thing that's coming up, Sag. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of work ahead. You're building up something from like literally zero. Like, I don't know what it is right now, but you're building, I know what it is for me, but you're building something for literally like nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that you can't pull it off, but I will say this. In terms of how much work that you're actually going to have to do to pull off a magnificent feat that no one else could aside from you, the Knight of Cups is trying to encourage you to like stay like flirtatious, stay like I'm a Sag. I can speak to this. Sag is we're romantics, high key, no matter how we look at it, right? We have eyes and we like seeing stuff, but we are like romantics, low-key. This is one of those things to where it's like really just like put the little sauce in there. You get what I'm saying? Whenever you watch something and you hear like Jay-Z or something, and he's like, ha, ha, like there's a certain like swag that all of us have. Like, let's just let that out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You would be surprised. Flirting permission? Yes. Just flirt with the world. That is what I have learned from my air sign counterparts. Thank y'all for supporting the game. Anyway, but that is what I'm kind of getting for Sag. Like, there's a lot of work to be had, but like the more that you just kind of like have fun with it, flirt a bit, enjoy the process versus being like, oh, there's work to do. You know, that could be as simple as like maybe you walk by the girl at the front desk or the dude at the front desk or whoever you like at the front desk, and you just like, so you gonna let me in today? And they're like, you have a key card, and you're like, oh, true. Let me stop. Like, that's just the idea though, right? So that's going to be that for my fire sign. Someone said that they're lit watching this. We got people down having a storm, having a good time. Love to see it. Okay. I'm glad everyone's still doing okay. All right. Who am I pulling for now? I'm going to do water. Why not? Water, y'all got it, I guess. All right. So this is going to be for water signs, sun, moon, and rising, most of your rising. And please make sure that you sign up for the mini readings right now, just so I can have a semblance of how many of those I have to do in the process as well. So this is going to be for Cancer, sun, moon, and rising, but most of your rising. I ain't look at it yet. Ooh, okay. So we have the Page of Tennis Balls. So with the Page of Pentacles, the idea of this process, Cancer, is that like, I always see and always think this is like, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. The reason why that's coming up though is because like Cancer, I think y'all forgot just how much just how much emotion you have can be utilized for your passion. I think if anything, Cancer, this is going to be like a revival of what maybe like dream passion or dream career. There's something with this where it's like, you're going to get back into the driver's seat of being able to really choose your creative endeavors, really make a difference in the stuff that you are picking, right? That's really what's going to be making a huge difference for you throughout this process. And when it comes to this moon, and the Queen of Wands is trying to get you to like step up into that power and not too shy away from it. So like a lot of times Cancers are like, I'm powerful, but like, I'm not more powerful than you. If you feel like that way for real, just claim where you're at. That's really what it is. Like, claim where you're at. Be honest about where you're at. That's going to change everything. Scorpio. Scorpios. I feel like y'all are always going through it every time I pull a card ever. But hopefully that's not the case today. I usually sing better. I just don't have the mental capacity, and it's hot in here. I told y'all, Scorpio, y'all be going through it. Y'all in y'all heartbreak era. Scorpios over there like, I wish Kendrick Lamar never told the truth. So Scorpio, we gonna have to talk for a second. Scorpio, you have the World card. That was an unintentional mouth smack. That was not even intended, but hey, here we are. You have the World card. The World card. The World. I need to have a sound effect board. If anyone thinks I should get a sound effect board, hit a like on here, drop a comment. You let me know because I will hit the button. Oh, why? Anyway, the next part to this really is like Scorpio. The World card is really trying to show you that, like, I'm going to say this, Scorpio, and I'm going to be real with you because the way that the heartbreak to the World card is like, y'all crashed out. I don't know what y'all did. Y'all crashed out. The whatever heartbreak that y'all have dealt with or have almost even intended, I think it's like the whatever came through, Scorpio, to where you thought you were going to get like that upper hand type deal. My only fear, I would say, that comes with Scorpio a lot of times is that when they see a sense of power, they try to cling to it. And so what I'm seeing with this Scorpio is that like this is like trying to cling too hard to power that like the heart gets broken. But then again, I think the world is opening up for you. I think what you were trying to cling too hard onto, whether that be a relationship, a job, a business, something else, whatever the case is, whatever you've been trying to cling too hard to has now given you that sense of heartbreak. So what do? Do we hop back to it and we're like, hey, let's just burn it all down again? Or do you realize that whatever state of the bottom you are at right now is to actually show you that your world can be different? Like you don't have to go by the same program. You don't have to. That's the biggest lesson here, Scorpio. You don't have to stick to the same program that you thought, but you do have to adapt to what is coming next. That's my biggest advice for you right now, Scorpio, especially during this right now. Yeah, they be hitting y'all with ads like crazy low key, but I also need my bread. So, I mean, hey. Anyway, so Pisces, let's get into Pisces, right? Pisces, let's break this down. Pisces. Oh, y'all got the instant manifestation back? Pisces, y'all were so good. And now the universe is like, hey guys, I know that I've been not letting y'all manifest all the stuff that you want on a whim anymore. Like, I know. I just thought it'd be funny if we stopped. But here you go again, guys. Y'all can manifest whatever you want again. Wow. So Pisces, here's the real kicker to this. Are you doing this instant manifestation out of the love of the game, or are you doing this to get a one-up on something? Because that'll change everything. Okay, I need to add either started or ended. So I'm going to go on from there. Okay, hi, everybody. So, Pisces, again, y'all got the Eight of Wands. Y'all are just out here cooking. Y'all are doing the thing. You feel me? Now, here's the thing that I'm getting from this Pisces is that, like, if you're getting all this manifestation ability and stuff back, please use it for the stuff you need it for and not for something else. If you've been trying to get yourself the art project together and you over there spending that money on a Chanel bag and then you try to instant manifest that thing again and it's like, oh man, I used my Chanel bag money for this thing that I should have done for my passion. Oops. That's where the universe might not just hop you right back to it. Not to say that you can't do it, but you have to also keep in mind we're going into retrograde. But I can say, Pisces, this is going to be a really abundant time for you going forward from this Leo new moon. So that's something to keep in mind, and I'm glad that that's happening for y'all. All right, I'm going to hop into Earth signs because I feel like I've been doing Earth for the last bit. So I'll be nice. This is going to be from my Taurus. Taurus is, again, this is sun, moon, and rising. Most of you are rising. But let's get into Taurus, right? Taurus, guess what? Something got messed up. Anyway, but honestly, the idea when it comes to this Taurus is that, like, yeah, it crumbled down. It crumbled to the ground. Whatever foundation that you thought you was gonna, that whatever horse you thought you was gonna like keep staying on, kicked you off. And I'm only saying that on some like things change. It can be unpredictable, but this is like for Taurus right now. this has been like a crashing down, a crumbling down of like older expectation. How does this play out though? Well, the thing is that like we can either sit there and keep being mad that everything's not working, or we could chill. Or we could take some time to like really just like find that inner balance. And I think Taurus, that's what's really coming up for y'all with this Leo new moon. And granted, if y'all are trying to look at a further explanation or a more basic explanation of what's going on with you for this, I end up putting that in my newsletters now. So I give y'all a kind of generic take on what's going on with the zodiac signs, and I really get into it now. So if you want to pair those both up as well, make sure you check out the newsletter and stuff. I usually just announce that the fact that I'm doing a video or whatever else I have going on, but like, yeah, you know, good stuff, right? Anyway, to keep it pushing, Taurus, y'all are finding a way to chill against all the noise, and that's one thing that's really important that's coming through for y'all. So let's see what's happening, honestly, for Virgo. Like Taurus, y'all are in a chill spot, but like keep chilling. And when you think you need to do the most, chill harder. That's my biggest advice right now. All right, cool. So for my Virgos, see, we got Virgo. Hierophant, pulled it at the beginning, right? Virgo, y'all, honestly, Virgo, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Virgo, y'all are just about to step into star card energy, but if you deny the star card energy, you're not gonna be the star. I don't know how else to explain that, but it's like, Virgo, you have the star card underneath everything. And so it's like people are kind of looking to you to be the star of the show, or to show up and make the change, or to do that other part. But if you can't step into your star power, someone else will, or something else will, or you just kind of miss out on your opportunity. Virgo, this is part of why the Hierophant card is kind of coming through as well with this, is because it's like, you be smart about that, because it's like you're not going to get in that position to be the star like the way that you see that often. Make sure that you're utilizing more of what spirit has to say versus your ego, because you don't want to be in a situation where you use your ego in a wrong way and you get yourself out of that blessing in that process. In the next part to this, we're going to do Capricorn. Let's break this down for Capricorn. What we got for Capricorn? All right, let's go. So for Capricorn, all right, this is important for y'all too. Capricorn, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. And I know someone who's kind of dealing with something like this, so it's kind of easy for me to talk about vaguely. But Capricorn, y'all are going through a spiritual experience. And the reason why it sucks for y'all right now, Capricorn, is because it's like all the nature that you typically have and utilize to like keep things in order is actually the same thing that's leading things to be topsy-turvy, which is like what? But the main part to this, Capricorn, is you have to learn how to give and take better. I think you might have been given too much, and so you need to take back your energy, or maybe someone's trying to take something from you, but are you going to give them everything that has to come with that and a bag of chips, or are you going to give them what they deserve? That's really what's coming through with that. I know there's a ad break. We back. But the idea when it comes to this is like, this is the change, Capricorn, that you've been wanting, in terms of like, sometimes y'all work and y'all are like, what is this working for? This is going to show you just how much your time and effort is actually worth. And that's going to change a lot for y'all. Okay. Hey, Shafali, how's it going? Okay, cool. So this right here is going to be for my airheads. Hey, okay, this is going to be for the air signs, right? I love my little airheads. Y'all all typically be pretty, though. I'm not gonna lie. My air signs definitely have a lot of pretty people in their corner. Good for y'all. Okay, so to keep it going forward, right? Let's talk about Gemini, right? Let's talk about Gemini. Let's see what we got. Okay, Gemini. Ooh, so we have a handful of people. Oops. Or a handful of signs, I should say, that are really going through this like real depth of transformation type of deal, right? So the Tower card is like knocking down the scenario that you thought was about to pull up. Word. With that being said, it's knocking it all down, but we also have that Eight of Pentacles. So what does that mean for this Eight of Pentacles? Well, when you have the Eight of Pentacles with that Tower card, it's like, yes, everything fell apart, so you can build it back up the exact way you thought it was supposed to happen. Times like this, I'm really happy I'm tall. Anyway, I just dropped that card all the way across the room. Anyway, but this is right here is the 5 of Pentacles. So Gemini, if you think that you hit rock bottom, if you think things are not happening the way that you anticipate, this is what's going to be kind of giving y'all the courage to move through, because just know that you are supposed to be building it up again. So I know that it's like, oh, it sucked. This is all the stuff I worked for, everything else. But like, this is really what makes a difference. We also have 111 over there. I think there's 111 amount of viewers here, or a lot 111 people that maybe have shown up so far. But either way, we love to see it. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you are here, just so we make sure that people know that we are the best. All right, cool. So let's keep it pushing, right? Let's move this over to Libra. What we got for Libra? Libra, so we have the Queen of Wands, but I have to point this out. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Swords. So this is like, and I'm going to keep it a stack with you, Libra. This is like someone's been like, there's one of two things. Either someone has had you defeated in a type of way, or you put out the effort to defeat somebody else, or like to show up and wreck and be like, I've defeated everything, right? There's this type of like chip on your shoulder, I would say, that has been kind of coming through recently. And with that being said, I think the biggest advice for this new moon in Leo is like, yo, everyone knows what you want, right? And this is like Libra, this is like y'all are in a beauty contest. And y'all win because, of course, you do. And then y'all don't know how to shut up about it. Like, there's one thing to be like, oh, I've won. Oh, I'm the champion. There's another thing when you just like, don't shut up about it. So this is kind of like, hey, I know that y'all are winning, or maybe you don't feel like you're winning, but don't gloat. Be the queen. Like, you don't have to like. This is like if we listen to Kim Kardashian explain how she just made another million. We're just gonna sit there and be like, okay, Kim Kardashian, whatever. You're hot. You got a figure. You're pretty. Of course you're going to do. That's the kind of energy that you're going to be getting back, Libra. So the best way to put it is just like, yo, I know that y'all might want to be like, let's pull up, let's pop out. This is about being classy. Like, yes, you can know that you're the best, but just like the class of you knowing the best, you're the best, is going to be bringing people to like admitting you're the best for you. You get what I'm saying? So you don't have to like stomp on all their graves or nothing to be like, this I win. Like, you're going to be okay. So that's going to be the situation for Libra. And last but certainly not least, we have the Aquariuses. Okay, so for Aquarius, what do we have for y'all? Okay. Aquarius. Can't believe it. I bet you would never guess I would pull this. We have the Hierophant card. Look at that. Wow. Anyway, but the Hierophant card is coming through, Aquarius, but you have to walk away. You can't even stay. Please, oh baby, don't go. Name stop. But I sing that every time I see this. But this is literally just like you walking away from the BS. This is you walking away from the camaraderie. This is you walking away from all the hoopla. Why? Because when everyone's on their hoopla, they're going to be looking to you like, aren't you a part of the hoopla? And you're going to be like, no, I've been over here manifesting my dream life while y'all been over here arguing about who has more riz. And it's like, oh, shoot. So Aquarius, this is your excuse to be an Aquarius. Step out. You know what I'm saying? Step away from it. Detach. That is not your problem. I think people are going to be trying to make smaller problems out of things that don't really exist. And so with that being said, the biggest finesse behind this is to just walk away, stay in your own lane as you do, or craft your own lane if you have to, as you also do. But that's pretty much the part that I'm getting when it comes to all of this, just to give you some context. Simple and clean indeed. So keep it simple and clean, Aquarius. That's probably the real message and all this. Just keep it simple and clean. Y'all gonna be all right. But with that being said, I think we have covered all of the zodiac signs, which is always a beautiful thing. I believe we have 2 different people who ended up getting mini readings, which is completely cool. I'm just going to go through these mini readings, and I will be doing more stuff on YouTube in this upcoming month. It's going to take me a little bit of time, and I'm also working on that app launch. So stick with me in this process. But I'm excited to do so, and I appreciate the love of everybody here. If y'all do want to pop up to the Astrology 101 and get that recorded, make sure you drop it below. I've seen a couple people in here. How do y'all think about the Astrology 101? Did y'all get some context? If you're here in the comments, drop that below. Or if you're watching this afterward, drop that below too so someone else can see that. And maybe if they're gandering to learn how to really put the astrology together, they could check it out as well. So appreciate you all for being here. If you can keep this on while this keeps going. All that ad revenue helps me out and helps me keep these free for the public. So for anybody who does want to pop up. So hopefully that helps in that too. Okay, cool. I see another ad popping up. And once an ad finishes right over there as I see it, we're going straight into the cards. We're just going into the mini reading. So this is your last chance. After this ad, there are no more mini. No, play. You could probably still do that. I'm just want to be extra. Okay. Yay. Learning about the self and the babies. We love to see it. Okay. Speaking of, I believe, okay, let's do this. This is from Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Let's see what's pulling up. What message is coming through from the universe? LOL. Well, LOL is usually the message the universe has to say to us. We just sometimes astrologize about it. So, okay. The world. Actually, didn't you just say you graduated school? Everybody clap it up for Michelle real quick. Congratulations, Michelle. She just made it through the esthetician. I believe I'm saying that wrong. It's the skin school to make sure everybody's pretty. Yeah, let's get it. I think it's esthetician. I'm messing the word up. Whatever. All I know is that she's doing a great job, and I'm pulling cards for her now. So congratulations. The world is opening up for you exactly the way that you thought. Ooh. Okay, this is actually fire. We had the King of Wands. So guess what? We was kings. No play. But honestly, like the King of Wands is such a great card to get because it's like, I know that when you said you stepped in there, you were like, I'm her for real. You know what I'm saying? Which is true. But this King of Wands is like you leaving and then being like I'm gonna put it like this. Y'all, you coming out of that school with like some me type confidence. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's up? Y'all got something to say? Y'all don't even know how to do that. What's up? Like there's this newfound confidence, and it's not to gloat, but I will say this. Things are about to change, but stupid fast. So things are about to shift. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm getting a job here, I don't know this, that, and the third, don't worry about none of that. Don't worry about none of that. Up next is your state board exam, which you're about to pass with the strength card. You're good. And I think one of the main portions to this is that because you like what you're doing, that's what's leading to your success. So that whole message that I had on the new moon in Leo, last time I did the Leo season thing, I said Capricorns were starting early. I remember saying that. I was like, Capricorns are starting early. Y'all are doing this stuff quick. Well, congratulations, Michelle. You started before all of us, and you have received and are receiving the recognition and love that comes from that in that process. And I know that we did this little like this cute clap, for y'all in this process, but for real, flowers to you. Congratulations. I know how much of a feat that can be as well. And you did a great job. So good work. You have the board exam. I'm not worried about it. It's beautiful times. Okay. So this one is going to be for Sharon. Right? And Sharon made an excellent point, and I'm happy that she did. She said, you say more when I say less. And that's kind of true. I think one of the main portions of me as an astrologer or a reader in general is that, like, if someone asks something direct, I'm stupid direct. Like, it's like, they're like, oh, what about this? I'm like, all right, cool. Like, let's answer that. Like, I remember yesterday I met somebody. I was sitting outside because I just needed to be outside. And I was outside in this social setting, sitting there. Someone came up and they're like, oh, it's my birthday or something like that. And I gave them the coldest advice off the top of my head about their solar return. I felt like him. I'm not going to lie. It was the coldest advice. It's someone that doesn't believe in astrology. I gave them everything in like four sentences. Look, the homegirl next to him looked over, was just like, that was everything that you were just saying before. Oh my God, you were just saying all of that before we got in here. And I was like, but anyway, this it's a fun time. So, but yes, you are correct. I do say more when people say less because it just lets it go. Nah, you're not too late for a reading. I got you, Mar. Pull up. You good. You're not too late. You good. I got you. Say less. All right. Astrology 101 was so helpful. Yo, you be hiding up and then popping up all the time. I appreciate the love though. I feel like out of everybody, when you be watching, you be like, I'm here. Okay, bye. I respect the vibe. But yeah, Mar, you still good. Pull up. But yeah, everyone appreciates the love. No doubt. You know the vibes. Okay, let me actually start to hop in again. This is for Sharon. I do say more when you say less. You saw how I just started yapping? So what happens when you get raised in a Mercurial household, you feel? All right, boom, boom, boom. So, Sharon, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know my vibe anyway. This right here, you have done. Oh, I'm sorry. You have done so successfully, Sharon, that you have earned yourself a hater. Yes, haters. Yeah, they're mad. Why are they mad? I don't know. But what I can say. Ooh. Okay, this is the same exact pull I just had a second ago. And I do not feel apt doing that. The hands sometimes are... 1 second. Let's move the energy through. Get back to it. All right. So let's get it one more time. I pulled the same exact thing. That was crazy. Okay. So you don't have a hater. You are the hater, no play. But honestly, this right here is a 9 of Pentacles. And so one thing about this 9 of Pentacles aspect that I'm seeing, especially on the bottom of the deck, is that like you're really getting into a very new state of how you're operating in the world. So there's one thing to like... I think you're a very diligent person. After all the like readings I've done for you and the few times I think that we have talked for real, it's like they hate me because they ain't me, facts. But the idea when it comes to at least all of this is one of those situations and changes to where I want to say that you're starting to actually stop and smell the roses versus trying to like tend to the garden so fast, so to speak, right? Like the Lover's card came up and if I remember correctly, I'm usually good at like stringing other readings together. If I remember correctly, I was saying that there was somebody who was trying to say what's up. I think this is them. I don't know if this was business. I don't know if it got romantic. I don't know if it got a little freaky deaky, but I can say that it did make a change in terms of how you approach the way that you were moving about life in the way that you are, right? But here's the kicker. We have this 6 of Wands as well. So you're marching forward in this same energy. You're marching forward to make sure that all these things are like possible. You're marching forward to make sure that you're like really on your P's and Q's. And I think that you are on your Q's and P's and your P's and Q's and all that other 9, because we also have the Page of Cups. So I want to say that this is you giving a reluctant shot at love, as I'm going to point that out because I just dropped the cards. It's either giving a reluctant shot at love, or this is something where it's like, oh, that would be kind of cool. And as a Capricorn, it's always hard to like lead from your emotional space because like you kind of get taught to doubt it, even though that's literally where your like intuition and vision come from. But that's none the wiser. But I can say though is that there is this real transformation and change that's pulling through that has a lot to do with that emotional world. So keep that in mind. There might be some suitors pulling up. If you want to fall in love, then just fall in love. You feel me? It's not too hard to fall in love. That's the wrong song, but that's okay. Anyway, I appreciate you, and I hope that helped, right? And last but most certainly not least, we have Shefali. Gratitude to you as well. Birthday week. Everybody say happy birthday to Shefali right now. Everybody. No, but for real, much love. Larger than life energy in terms of love as a Leo. So I hope that you get the same back and more in advance, just to let you know. So much love to you as always, for real, for real. Thank you for really like sticking to. That's love, for real. Appreciate it. Birthday week / month reading. Tuesday, what do you need to know or do? Okay, all right. Let's put a little extra. All right. Ooh, I accidentally pulled the extra card. So here we go. First of all, Shefali, let's point something out to you real quick. Okay. So this is more cards than I anticipated, but it's also your birthday, so that's fine. What I can say. Like, I know you came in late. I need you to rewatch the first 20 minutes of this video. Like on some real, I need you to rewatch it, especially because of that Leo element. But there's a really important part to you that needs to remember, like, where I came from kind of thing. And this year for you is going to be so tied into you really putting forth those ideas that you have, for you really putting your emotion to the, not to the test, but there's like this need to continue to delve. There's this need to continue to push the envelope. There's this need to like honestly work on all those things that you said you were going to do. Like, Shefali, this is a very much like active year for you in terms of you unearthing the stuff that you truly care about. I think your kids are going to be a huge gateway to like you getting into this. I think like you knowing how to give and take is coming up as a huge theme for this year. So this is like, yo, you got the budget at work. They gave you $50K to do whatever with, right? Are you going to do it for what's right for the job, or are you going to try to just hook up the homie that's there? This is about you doing what's right to like what you know is right. And here's this one thing that I am seeing is that at some point there's a tower card, and I'm not seeing this tower card as like a disaster by any means. And I know how you be thinking, so do not take that way. Let's bring it back. Let's pull up with me for a second. The tower card is also sometimes a like enlightening moment, right? I think a lot of times when people ascend or they awaken or they feel their first real spiritual bit, they do have a tower moment to where it's like, this world is bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's this thing that just pulls through you like, everything I know is a lie. That's kind of the process that's happening. And I think why that is because it wants you to really like kind of like, I'm going to be real, Shafali. This is kind of like, I don't know how else to put this, but it's like, it feels like this birthday is trying to like give you the riz of like a 19-year-old kid in college trying to shoot their shot to like the older, or like the senior girl, but it's working. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, hey, yo, like I know whatever, but like, I'm here, you know? But like there's this, and follow just the energetic of that, because it's like, it's through that energetic like, that people are going to start really flooding through and rocking with you. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that in that process. That's what I'm getting from that process. So yeah, dope. And last but certainly not least, let's make sure that we read for the young King Mar. Let's make sure we good. Haha, caught me going, no, I told you. Anyway. I think we have one more commercial break, and then we headed into Mars reading. So this is the last reading for this evening. Thank you all for showing up. I don't think anyone else ordered one. If so, this is like literally your last 2 seconds to figure that out. Okay, so this is going to be from Mars. Let's figure this out. Let's pop in. Let's get this going. So the mind is all, the universe is mental. Man is God asleep. God is man awakened. Look, bro, I know you be in those books for real. I know you be in those books for real. It's refreshing to see that also like still pop back up. You know what I'm saying? Any advice to develop and activate your gifts to share with the world? All right, bro. It's only every so often we get somebody in here that be on there like, I'm ready to take on the world as much as my stuff. But he and I have a very similar chart, to be fair. Okay. All right, let's break this down. I got you, Mar. So what do you need to show up in the world? Matter of fact, how are you going to maximize on this new moon in Leo? Also, everything I mentioned had everything to do with Lionsgate. I forgot to say that earlier because Lionsgate is mad iffy as a concept. Lionsgate technically happens in Cancer season, but that's besides the point. So next part, let's get it. King of Swords, Mars, this is go time, which sounds weird because it's like I'm saying it's go time, but we're about to step into Mercury Retrograde. All right, so what do you need to know about going with the world? I think you chasing your ambition is pulling off in the best way. You get what I'm saying? Like this is pulling off in the better way. You get what I mean? Like people will need to see you kind of active and doing stuff. They don't have to necessarily know what it is, but they kind of want to just stay. They enjoy the fact that you're kind of everywhere doing it all, right? They're like, oh, he's over there doing this. Here's the thing, bro. All your manifestations are coming true. All your wishes are coming true. This is something I have to point out to you, bro. All your wishes are coming true. All the stuff that you set out before, almost even as far back as when you and I first started like to go through this and we started like talking about all the astrology that you've been dealing with. This right here is showing you that all of those wishes are finally coming through. And bro, I mentioned this to you briefly, but I want to double down on this because it's popping up again. That heartbreak wound, bro, that's still popping up right now. And it sucks to say because I feel like you're like, oh, I already got over it for real. And although you might have, there is this still like love-hearted component because the key to the love wasn't to get over it. The key to the love was to experience the love. So now this is the other half of this. And I'm letting you know this as a fellow young king. And not a lot of people talk about this, especially like mano to mano or man to man type deal. Like the love was there to show you that you were capable to love. That wasn't supposed to be the one and only thing. So why am I saying it this way? Because you about to go back into the lab, bro. I think with this Mercury retrograde, you're still maintaining the appearance of I'm go-getting, but that Virgo hermit card you know, and I know, do you have an Aries rising too? I think that's what it was. We both have Aries rising. Yes. So you're also Aries rising. So it's like when I said, yo, I'm taking the next 3 weeks off from doing readings, and I normally just do readings in my week every week. I'm not saying you have to do the same thing, but I'm saying that there is going to be a part where it's like, take your power back, take your energy back. You know what I'm saying? In a place where you think that whatever else, like, take it back, see what happens. See if people do pop up. See if people are still like, hey, I want to do something else. See if like, just pay attention to the game. But I want to say that this is about you really taking time back to self. You get what I'm saying? Because as you said, the mind is all, universe is mental, man is God to sleep, God is man to awaken, and you halfway in between all of this right now. So where do you sit in that? And that's what I'm going to leave you with. I know you like the little philosophy takes. Bro, she was an Aquarius. R.I.P., my friend. I'm sorry, fam. You should have just said that before. First of all, female Aquarians are savages. I respect y'all game. But I also ain't really date y'all for real because y'all was always tripping. I respect the game, though. But, man, bro, I'm sorry. I know, just off of that rip, I'm like, yep, that homie got through the ringer, but I'm hyped for you. Bounce back, bro. You always know that you're here for this. Everybody in the community, then in this YouTube space, also be seeing you, and they know the vibe. So if you need a little help, if y'all got a little advice for Mara, you know, I know we have a lot of lovely ladies in here. You know what I'm saying? If anybody got some advice for the young king on how to navigate that, make sure that you pull through, show him a little bit of love. You feel me? But aside from that right there has been the new moon in Leo. That has been the full breakdown. That has been the whole vibe. Appreciate y'all for showing up and being here. I'm about to end off this live stream. As a matter of fact, as I end off this live stream, I just saw that homie was live right now. I'm about to go over there myself. That's mad funny. I'm going to drop it down there right now because it's the homie. Boom. If y'all bored, y'all want to know more about the new moon in Leo, make sure that you check that out as well. I'm heading over there to just watch because I want to support my peers. And yeah, so cool. Anyway, much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here and showing up. And I'll be getting back to y'all later on. Peace out. Much love and stay beautiful.